I know, I didn't like Barbie, but let me tell you about my favorite movies of 2023. Kristen here, your pop culture obsessed bestie, and with one of the best ensembles of the year, we need to talk about Joyride. Ashley Park, Sherry Colas, Stephanie Hsu, and Sabrina Wu are literal magic together in this film. It follows a group of friends who go on a wild adventure that tests their friendship in ways they'd never expect. I love that this film subverts expectations and the model minority trope when it comes to these women and non-binary actors. They're loud, insecure, sexual, awkward, confident, messy. They really give us such a wide range of Asian characters that I feel like we don't always get to see on screen. And it has layers, like it's raunchy, it's hilarious, but it's also emotional. Based on the book by Casey McQuiston, we follow the enemies to fake friends to lovers relationship between Alex Claremont Diaz, the first son of the United States, and Prince Henry in Red, White, and Royal Blue. This film tackles so much in its well-paced, nearly 2-hour runtime, including royal duty, dreams of saving the world, and the characters' distinct queer identities. All of that on top of delivering a truly cheeky and romantic love story. Nicholas Galitzine is always great in everything I see him in, and he did not disappoint here. He and Taylor Zakhar Perez just are the perfect leading men together with off-the-charts chemistry. Dark Harvest has to be one of the most underrated horror films of 2023, delivering a new horror icon with the murderous pumpkin-headed scarecrow Sawtooth Jack. The terrifying legend wreaks havoc on a small Midwestern town every Halloween, but it's not just Jack that brings the horror. It's sort of got the energy of like The Hunger Games meets The Purge, and the people of this town are just as guilty. It's based off the book by Norman Partridge, and director David Slade just gives us so much blood and guts and manglings. This is not for the faint of heart, but hands down is one of the goriest movies of the year. Based on the award-winning graphic novel by N.D. Stevenson comes Nimona. It follows the former knight Ballister Boldheart, who's wrongfully accused of killing the queen. While attempting to clear his name, he meets the shape-shifting teen Nimona, who has aspirations of being his evil sidekick. Nimona delivers this very thrilling and heartwarming tale of rejection, of what happens when someone is villainized for being different, and finding your community. It's got a super dynamic and inclusive voice cast. This is just the rebellious and punk rock animated movie of your dreams. One of the craziest movies I saw this year was Missing. I feel like it was super underrated as well, but we were like screaming at the TV screen the whole time we were watching it. In it, Storm Reed is a teen looking for her missing mom who's disappeared on a vacation with her new boyfriend. It's a standalone sequel to Searching, so it's got that same screen life format that makes it feel like you're the one watching on your computer and doing all the research. There's some wild Easter eggs, and if you're paying really close attention, there's even a text that comes up in the movie from a producer that spoils the entire thing. I thought that was so smart. With crazy twist after crazy twist, Missing will literally have you screaming at your TV screen trying to figure out who done it. Scream 6 finds the core 4 from Woodsboro, setting up a new life in New York City that is until Ghostface finds them again. There were some really gruesome and high-stakes sequences in this one, which I really enjoyed, from the ladder scene to that whole situation with Gail. They like tap into the franchise rules, but then also subvert them and sort of do like the opposite of what you would expect at times. I loved how they explored Sam's history being the daughter of Billy Loomis, and also gave us these very interesting parallels between Sam and Sydney and how, you know, kind of similar things were happening to them, but Sam is being villainized while Sydney is being victimized. But the Scream franchise, much like Chucky, I feel like is one of my favorites, where I just think they get bolder and more creative each turn. I gotta tell you, theater camp was one that very much surprised me. I had a feeling that I would enjoy it because I am a theater kid, but I was not prepared for just how funny it was. When a beloved founder of a rundown theater camp in upstate New York falls into a coma, it's up to her broy son and the eccentric staff to keep the camp afloat, and it's very much taking inspiration from Molly Gordon and Ben Platt's real experiences at Stage Door Manor. It's very self-deprecating, it's a satire of the theater community, but also a love letter at the same time. You've got these Broadway veterans like Ben Platt, like Noah Galvin, that really bring that like authenticity, but then you have people like Jimmy Tatro in there who I just think is hilarious in everything he's in, and he really brings that humor, especially for people outside of the theater community. I think they managed to do this really well, where it's hilarious for theater kids, but also anybody could watch this and they will still be cracking up. We gotta talk about The Creator. A future war between the human race and artificial intelligence rages on, and a team is put together to kill the creator, an elusive architect of an advanced AI who's made this world-ending weapon. But what happens when that weapon is actually an AI in the form of a child? This ambitious sci-fi odyssey delivers a profound take on humanity, acceptance, and freedom. We get to see a career best performance from John David Washington, and you also get this incredible debut performance from Madeline Unavoiles, who just really proves that she's a young actress to watch. I gotta say, one of the movies that surprised me the most this year was The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. This was a movie that, like, you know, I was in the Hunger Games era, like, I was excited about that world, but I hadn't read this prequel at the time, and I was kind of like, we're going back to the Hunger Games, like, haven't we done this already? No. Nope. I take it all back. I was hooked. I thought this film was incredible. It made me go back and re-watch all the other movies and read the book, which I think gives you an even deeper look at Coriolanus Snow. Set 64 years before the Hunger Games that we all know, a young Coriolanus Snow is struggling to upkeep his family lineage. When he's assigned to mentor Lucy Gray Baird from District 12 in the 10th annual Hunger Games, their fateful meeting sets him on a path to becoming the tyrannical president of Pan Am. This is an origin story, and it's not even just the origins of Coriolanus Snow, but even like how we get to the level of Hunger Games that we're watching in the older films, how there's such a spectacle. Like, that wasn't going on back then. We're swept up into this like more brutal and poorer world, and sort of get to see how everything started. Tom Blythe, he is a revelation as young Coriolanus Snow, delivering one of the best performances of the year. He just has this like captivating transformation that reinvigorated my excitement for this world, but also gives so many deeper layers and meaning to everything that we've known from the original Hunger Games. They were able to take the lore of the Hunger Games and elevate them to new heights and give us this star-making performance by Tom Blythe. Like, I am excited to see what he has coming out next after this. And of course, we had to talk about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem. This was a shell of a good time. The teen voice cast here was just perfect. They were so authentic. They really captured the turtle bond of brotherhood, but also today's young people. Like, it's just crazy to me that this is the first time that actual teenagers have voiced the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, because they should have been doing this the whole time. It just brought such a great energy. Ice Cube, I thought, also was so impressive as Superfly. I loved seeing how all the different mutants came into play. The animation is so explosive and creative. It's got a great soundtrack, great themes of acceptance, fatherhood, brotherhood, what it means to have the weight of family on your shoulders. And I'm telling you, those turtle tots, they're just too adorable. They're too cute. This was just one of the best animated films of the year. I want to know, what were your favorite films this year? Make sure to leave a comment and let me know. Consider subscribing if you like my videos, and if you want to talk more TV and movies with me outside of the comments section, check out my Patreon at patreon.com/kmaldo. If you like this one, you can check out more of my videos right over here. See ya!